Hey there, welcome to day 2076 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and our topic today is reaping the rewards of getting your confidence goal, supersizing your business, achieving anything, right? Whenever we have something that we wanted and we go for it, we set our sights on it and we're persistent and consistent and we put effort into it and we achieve that thing, we need to reward ourselves and celebrate that. That's the topic of this year's annual challenge, day 273. I had to look it up because I don't always remember. So today's day 273. It's the 273rd day of this year. What are you doing? How's it going for you? We're doing one thing every day in this year's challenge to get what we want out of life. And today we were talking about the last day. We're finishing up the area of confidence. Each month we've been focusing on a different area of the life framework that I use to structure my life and kind of create a little bit of systems and processes and procedures and structure and a framework around what otherwise is pretty much a chaotic mess. I don't know about you, but my life has always been pretty much, woo! Who knows what's going to happen today? Because as soon as you thought and expected something to happen, something else even crazier and usually more fun happened as well. So this month we've been focusing on the area of confidence. Why I added confidence and communication as core skills to my life framework in 2021. Following the pandemic and all the nonsense and craziness that happened with that, I got involved in a coaching group and coaching program on core skills that have a positive influence on the different areas and aspects of our life. Things like, and I just talk about most of these core skills within my other goals and objectives in the life framework that I use. I don't single them out, but I felt at the time like adding communication and confidence and focusing on those for me would not only impact me positively, but other people that I work with as well. So instead of just having physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, and contribution, I added communication and confidence too. And now I use a 9-part life framework. Why? Because it feels better to me. And when I get something and find something or come across something or learn something that feels right and resonates with me, I use it moving forward until it doesn't feel right anymore, right? It's like letting go strategies or thinking strategies or affirmations. I'll do an affirmation until I achieve the thing that I'm setting an affirmation for, and then I replace it with something better because I always want to be continually learning, growing, expanding, and becoming a better version of myself. Our idiom for today, of course, to go along with that was reap the rewards. And reaping the rewards reminds us, and I love this idiom because it graphically reminds us, we can see examples all around us in nature of this happening. What we plant, what we sow is what we're going to get out of it. And I shared a story in Supersize Your Business about, I live with my daughter and her 2 kids and her husband, because I am visually impaired. And is it what I really, I guess I love it. I absolutely love it. The kids are babies and I've gotten to spend more time with them than I otherwise ever would have than most grandparents. So, are there advantages and disadvantages? Of course there are. But to me, I only look at the upside and the advantages most of the time. Do I get frustrated sometimes with life? We all do, right? And our situations, sometimes we do. But we do what we can do with what we've got right now. So anyway, we were planting some things this year. So we had a big, giant barrel, it's cut in half, and it's a barrel planter with wheels. It's got to be because it's so heavy. And we planted a bunch of tomato plants in there. We planted a big cherry tomato plant in the middle, and then around it we planted blue and yellow tomatoes. We didn't know what they were because some friends gave us some sprouted plants that they had, and it turns out they were purple tomatoes and yellow tomatoes, which are all delicious, by the way. And I'm not a huge tomato fan. I love Italian food. Made Italian food for 35 years, but not necessarily a big tomato person. And that's got more to do with my personal health and blood type and all those crazy things that we're not going to get into. But we learned that when you plant tomato seeds in a tomato pot, you get tomato seeds. When you let something just be planted and you don't know what you're planting, you're not sure what you're going to get. And we had a couple of planters that actually just grew weeds this year. It was a lesson learned. We weren't sure what they were. We're like, well, they might be plants. We're not sure. And it turns out they were just weeds, normal weeds that grow in our area that had rooted and sprouted in these pots. And we watered them and took care of them and not knowing exactly what they were until my daughter, of course, Googled it. And we found out that they were indeed native weeds in our area. So that reminds me, and it's a really good example, graphic and visual and in our faces, that what we sow, what we plant is what we're going to get. what we put into things is what we're going to get out of them. So many people expect something for nothing, or they expect to put the minimum to get by into their job, their relationships, their life, and then they wonder why they get mediocre or negative results, or why bad things happen to them. So today I want to remind myself, and I encourage you to remind yourself, reap the rewards of what you actually sowed. Put the effort in to get what you want out. And usually, if we're putting good things into the world, we get like 10 times the value of that back. And we don't do that for selfish reasons. We do that to make the world a better place, because only a small percentage of the population is actually effortfully, purposefully putting good out into the world and doing that on purpose. Some people put a lot of good into the world just because they naturally are that way. Other people, lots of people, just worry about themselves or don't care if they put good into the world or not. They just want to do what's best for them. And that's why our lives and our world are in the position that they're in. And it's up to us to create what we want to see in the world, and by setting the example and putting good out there so that we can get good back into our lives. All right. Have an awesome day. Love to know your thoughts on this particular topic. Do you believe that what you put out into the world is what you get back? Whenever I feel like I'm not getting the right response or the right result back, or the result that I expect, and it wasn't this way when I was younger, but now I always ask myself, what's really going on? If I'm not getting the result I want, is it because of something outside of me, or is it like usually something inside of me, my thinking, my thoughts, my beliefs, something subconscious, something that's running as a subconscious program, usually from when I was a kid, that I'm not even aware of, that's blocking me from getting the result that I want. All right, that's how we take personal responsibility for creating the life we want. Have an awesome day, and I'll of course be with you tomorrow.